I am surely going to get slammed with hate for this, but as time has gone on and we've seen the Snyder fandom change over the last couple years, I have to ask, did Warner Brothers make the wrong call in releasing the Snyder Cut? For all the good the release the Snyder Cut fandom did, the Restore the Snyderverse fandom has done just as much, if not more, bad. From bullying and threats to asinine protests and ridiculous Twitter events, it's hard to look at the fanbase and not get aggravated. There are absolutely those within the fandom who have continued to prove they are happy with what they got, but there are a sect of fans that aren't as honorable and have tarnished not just a fanbase, but director Zack Snyder's name as well. Without a doubt, I was ecstatic when the Snyder Cut was announced and eventually released. Even when the Restore the Snyderverse campaign began, I was on board and just as hopeful as everyone else. Of course, as time went on and nothing happened, I continue to warn everyone that time was not our ally here. Sure, the way Warner Brothers handled everything was rather pathetic, never addressing their DC plans or even being honest with their intentions. But you can't solely blame them for the way the fans have acted the last 2 years. The thing is, this victory of the Snyder Cut being released was not just one that the Snyderverse fans could get excited about. This was supposedly an example of how a fan base can show a movie studio that listening to them could garner positive return. Sadly though, these 2 years have been more damaging than anything else. Studios who had their eyes opened in 2020 and 2021 are now not even paying attention to these sections of fans. And they most definitely are not relying on social media to gauge excitement like they used to. The Snyderverse fandom allowed this perceived victory to spoil them into thinking they had more power than they actually had or have. When things weren't going their way, they began to bully studio execs and threaten other filmmakers connected to Warner Brothers that their films would fail because they and the rest of the fandom would boycott them. You want to know why the Snyderverse wasn't restored? That's the reason, right there. We all should have been better. And while I absolutely loved Zack Snyder's Justice League, seeing what monsters have been created from its release has proved to me that, perhaps, it would have been best that it was never given life.